Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday again. How quickly do these Tuesdays come around? And it is our weekly online breakfast buddies. So, morning, team. How are we all?
Good morning, Jasmine.
We all good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. So here we go again. These Tuesdays come around ever so quick, don't they? It's lovely to have Sophia back again. Just before we came online, I feel like I haven't seen Sophia for ages because she's been in a world of isolation with COVID and whatnot. But you're coming out the other side now, aren't you?
Yep, I'm very pleased. I was back in the building yesterday.
Yeah, back in the real world, which is quite nice when you've been stuck inside for so long. You go a little bit stir crazy, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of cabin fever.
Yeah, definitely cabin fever, but we're pleased that you're back with us, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the flesh tomorrow. So then let's kick off, as we always do, with our internal weather. So it's a lovely way, if you don't know, of describing how you're feeling, using the weather as your description. So I'm going to kick off this morning with Beth. How is your internal weather this morning?
I am feeling like a fresh spring morning. The sun's out, the daffodils are out. I had a really good sleep yesterday, so I'm feeling very fresh and ready to go today.
It's a nice spring day.
That sounds lovely.
It does sound lovely. I like that. How about you, Sophia?
I would say that I am a little bit cloudy, but the sun is coming out.
Okay, that's all good. There's a bit of sunshine there, so that's always positive. Rachel, how about you?
I'm feeling good. I feel quite refreshed. So nice, crisp, sunny morning, but it's not too hot. It's just a little bit chilled. You're like, ooh, waking up a bit.
Nice. Yeah. I like it. These are quite good this morning. Zach, are you continuing?
I am a bit cloudy.
Oh. I'm
a bit cloudy today.
Why are you a bit cloudy?
Woke up.
Tuesday.
Just a bit tired. I slept a lot last night, but I'm still tired, and it's really annoying me.
Yeah. Sometimes, though, don't you find when you have too much sleep, it can actually make you feel a bit groggier the next day. So maybe you've had too much sleep, and tonight don't have as much, and you'll wake up a bit fresher tomorrow. Who knows? Yeah. There's a chance the sunshine could come out later, though, I reckon. Don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Well, do you know what? For me today, I'm feeling a bit like the weather outside. It's sunny. I'm happy. It's a little bit crisp, a little bit fresh. I also had a really good sleep last night. I think I fell asleep at like 9:20, and I got up at 6:30, and that's really good for me. Nice. So I'm feeling quite good today as well. Sunshine's coming out. It's going to warm up in a bit, and all is good on this Tuesday morning. And I tell you why, another reason I am feeling good today is because January is over.
That's what I was just about to say. Everyone's body's like, January's done. Get away from me.
Honestly, February is the one. I'm so glad to turn that calendar over this morning because, January drags, doesn't it? And like we've spoken about the past sort of few weeks, it's the longest month ever. Everyone's skin, everyone's like, nah. So I feel like, it's a happy day today that we're now in February. We can put January behind us and move on to all the nice things that are coming. Definitely. So before we kick off about anything today, I thought what would be nice to just quickly do is, so today's Chinese New Year. Did we all know that? Do you know what year we're going into?
Year of the Tiger.
Yes, Year of the Tiger. It's like we need that song there. You know that.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd ask you all. Do you all know what your Chinese New Year is? What animal you are? It's not zodiac, is it? But what your Chinese New Year animal is? So I'm the horse, and I was looking at this morning because I find it really interesting. So I'm the horse. I'm just going to read out what I found about me. So apparently, Year of the Horse, your personality is animated, active, and energetic. My lucky numbers are 2, 3, and 7.
Nice.
My lucky colours are yellow and green. Not so sure about that one. But this one, listen to this. My lucky flowers are calla lily and jasmine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Isn't that interesting that my flower of the Chinese New Year is Jasmine and my name is Jasmine? So yeah, I liked that. So do any of you know what your Chinese New Year sign is?
I know
I'm
mine.
also a horse.
Yours the dragon, Sophia.
You're a dragon, Sophia. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I'm
like
doing a
anything?
little Google. I'm doing some little Googling on the
Do a little
characteristics.
Google.
Apparently,
I'm year of the dog.
You're what? Sorry.
Year of the dog.
The dog. Well, that's quite apt because you love your dogs. Beth, what are you?
I'm the rabbit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that suits you.
So I don't know how it works then. So Zach, I'm going to quickly put in your birthday into because does it just work on the year or does it work on?
Yeah, I think it's just the year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what month or what day. It's just the year. So what year was you born in, Zach?
2002.
Okay, so I'm 1978, and we're both the horse.
Yeah.
Have you found out anything yet, Sophia? What is the dragon?
Yeah. Apparently, people born in the year of the dragon are energetic, healthy, and have the gift of good fortune and good luck.
Oh.
They have a magnetic personality, and it's hard to miss their presence in a crowd. They love competition and have a strong will to win.
Oh, I like that. And they can also breathe fire?
Yeah, I mean, excellent, yeah.
And got wings to
I've
fly.
not shared that skill with everybody yet.
No, that's when we do circus skills night, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to bring that out every week. Everybody expects it every week, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I know. You've got to keep that one in the bag for a special occasion, for sure.
Exactly.
So do you know anything about...
Yeah,
so what
if
did
you go on if you go on the VNA website, it's got like all the information about all the different zodiacs for the Chinese New Year.
I have to keep... The one I went on, you have to put in the date of birth and everything.
I just Googled the year I was born and it came up with the Chinese zodiac and then it linked me to the VNA website. So it has like lots of information on there. It's kind of cool.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Perhaps if you're watching and you don't know what year, what sort of, what's the word? What animal you are. It's an animal. They're all animals, aren't they? Have a little Google, because it is quite interesting to see what your year says about you. So is anyone going to have Chinese for dinner tonight? That's the most important question.
No, but that sounds like a great idea.
If there's any excuse to have a Chinese dinner tonight, surely it's got to be Chinese New Year, hasn't it? I can't have one because I'm still on my diet, so I'll have to maybe just put it in. Maybe in a couple of weeks, I might let myself have one. But
I learned something really interesting about Chinese New Year this morning. So when people are celebrating Chinese New Year, they're not allowed to wash their hair or their clothes on the first day of the new year because it's seen as washing your fortune away.
Oh, that's interesting because also, don't they say you should never do washing on the 1st of January on New Year's Day? Because they say the same thing.
Wash people out of your life.
Yeah. Oh, but they're not allowed to wash their hair either.
Not allowed to wash their hair.
Oh, gosh, have to go for the dry shampoo that day.
They also, it's really famous. They like give each other red envelopes. I don't know if any of you have seen them. They share red envelopes full of money with them. And I was reading that the amount given in the red envelopes can never include the number 4. The 4 is either 40 or 400. Because when you pronounce 4 in Chinese, it sounds like the word death. So that was quite interesting. But numbers with 8 in will bring good luck and prosperity. So that was quite interesting.
So to what do they? What like families give each other red envelopes with money in? It's like a celebration. I guess like giving a gift on Christmas. I guess it's like
pretty much.
I'd love my family to be giving me red envelopes of cash today. I'm not going to lie, that would be amazing. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Or different.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, okay. So there we go. So it's 1st of February, it's Chinese New Year, and things are on the up, I reckon. Everyone's start to feel a bit more spring-like and happy Chinese tonight, and enjoy if you are. Okay, so let's move on to some of the news that's been going on today. So we always, not just about in Northampton, we cover what's going on sort of across the UK and even sort of, things further afield as well. But let's start off with Northampton today. So there's a couple of things that have cropped up whilst we've all been having a look what's going on. So in the Chronicle and Echo, they shared that the police have recorded 10,556 incidents of violent crime during the 12 months to September, which is 5% up on the previous year. Did any of you guys see that article?
No, I don't know.
I haven't read all of it, but I think that's a crazy amount. I think seeing that figure is quite shocking, really.
Yeah. So what they're saying is weapons and public order crimes are on the up, but thefts, drug offences are down. So there's actually been a decrease in crime overall across England and Wales, but violent crime and sex offences in Northampton have risen. So that's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
I think the thing is with knife crime, I think the problem that we're having is a lot of young people are thinking, I need to carry a knife to protect myself. I need to protect myself. When in reality, they're getting stabbed because they're carrying this knife. They're getting stabbed by their own knives.
Yeah.
Which I think people just need to remember that you need to keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
Just because you think you need protecting, you probably don't. And you're just ending up in a worse position because you're carrying this knife to protect yourself.
Yeah. Well, they say it's I don't know they're like an actual statistic, but they say that people who carry knives are more likely to be stabbed than than not, and that's scary because I don't think that sort of filters through to a lot of young people, because they do think by carrying that knife it will make them safer. We've heard just amongst people who we work with and some of our service users, there's been way more knife carrying and knife crime happening in recent weeks and months, and it's a worry, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, I don't know how we go about tackling this. Does anyone think, is there a way that we could make young people more aware or more sort of savvy about the risks of carrying knives?
I think it's just iterating the fact that just because you think you need this for protection, actually this could turn out worse and someone could use your own knife to stab you with. Like, that's not the best solution that anyone wants. Also, I know a lot of police stations have got knife boxes. I know organisations have them.
Yeah.
So I think that'll
We've
be
got one at the yard.
Yeah, so I think that'll be a good way for young
people. I think
people.
it's also, sorry, Beth, I think it's also young people feeling they've got safe spaces to go to. And obviously, us at the yard, we feel that we are one of those safe spaces, that if young people don't feel safe whilst they're on the street, or they feel scared for whatever reason, that they can come to us and they can come and just hang out and feel safe in the building as well.
Yeah, definitely. Rachel, was you
knowing those options?
I remember there was something in the news about these boxes that are where you can put in knives anonymously. So you can, if you're in a situation where you want to get rid of it and you want to do it safely so no one else gets it from whatever rubbish, you can safely donate the knife or submit it without having to put your name in, because that's one of the biggest things. They're not going to turn it into the police if they don't trust the police. So
absolutely. And like you say, being able to do it anonymously is probably a lot easier for a lot of young people, because they are scared about the consequences, perhaps, of someone knowing that they did have a knife or they did take a knife out somewhere with them. So like Sophia said, we have somewhere in the yards where you can again put your knife in, and it's just about trying to keep us all safe and keeping your friends and young people as safe as possible, because it's a scary, scary world out there, isn't it? And seems that it's getting worse, not better, which is really sad. But I think we spoke about it. We touched on it briefly last week, or maybe the week before. But it's about having those safe spaces, isn't it? And there's a lack of them. There's a real lack of them. And, you know, we're really lucky. We work at the Yard, which is real central in the centre, you know, in the town. We're on Gold Street. I was going to say Bridge Street then. So we are, you know, somewhere where young people can go and feel safe. But there's not enough of those places about, are there? And I think that's, you know, quite often the problem as well. It's when you find them all hanging outside McDonald's or here or there and different groups of people, and it can then sort of kick off, can't it? So if you were watching and you really do want somewhere to go that you feel safe, remember that we have loads of different stuff going on down at the Yard. Before we finish today, we'll give you a little run through what's coming up this week. But if you're in the town centre, it's literally a 2-minute walk. So it's really accessible for everybody. So we'll go through the programme of what we've got going this week in a bit. Okay, so moving on to something else that I saw, Northampton again. And this one, well, it didn't make me laugh. Something that I've personally been affected by is, so the bus lane, that bus lane in St James, that they put cameras up at. I don't even know how long ago the cameras went up. But I myself, so there's an article in the Chronicle and Echo because the council have made so much money from giving people penalties for driving in that bus lane. I think it's been really confusing for people because when I first started driving around Northampton, you used to be able to use that bus lane, just not a certain, I think it was just, you know, maybe like rush hour, morning and evening. Apart from that, you could use it as long as the bus, you know, wasn't there. I don't think when they put the cameras up, I don't feel like they made it totally clear to people, you know, what the new rules were. And they've made a ridiculous amount of money from charging people penalties for driving in these lanes. The cameras have actually been taken down now, but just before Christmas, so no, not just before Christmas, in October, so I've told these guys, but it's something that really, really bugged me. So I'd taken my daughter for a COVID test up at the Saints. On the way back, so it was a Sunday, it was about 10 in the morning. She was really poorly. I'd taken her up for a PCR test and I was driving home. And there's that garage on the right hand side if you're coming up towards, you know, town, and a car was stationary indicating, and I needed to get home. You know, Mabel was really poorly. I needed to get her home, so I just did a little overtake. So I was probably in that bus lane for about 5 seconds, if that. Went straight back into my lane just so I could get her home, and then like a week later, I got a fine saying I've got to pay £60 because I was in the bus lane, and I was absolutely infuriated. Just thought, absolutely no way. I'm not going to pay that. So I thought, well, I'm going to appeal it. So I appealed it and explained the reasons why I'd left, you know, gone into the bus lane. Honestly, it was ages. So that was in beginning of October. The week before Christmas, I thought, well, I've not heard anything. I must have won. And also in interim time, they've actually now switched off all the cameras, haven't they? They've changed it, saying it's ridiculous. So I was thinking, oh, brilliant. I must have got my you know, appeal. I don't have to pay. And then I think it was about 2 days before Christmas, then I got a letter through the door saying, then no, I didn't win my appeal, that I still owe the money, because the cameras clearly show that I went into the bus lane, and I was absolutely furious. So more of just like, it was the point of it all. I just thought, no, it's the principle. I'm not paying that. You've turned all the cameras off. There's been loads of news about how terrible it's been. I'm not paying it. So it said the last thing you can do, you can go to take it to like a small court and a judge will make a decision. So I thought, right, I'm going to do it. And I did. And I ended up winning, which I was so happy about. Again, it's not the money, it's the principle of it.
Found it.
Oh, have you got it? And the judge said, look, 35,000 fines and more than £500,000. It's ridiculous.
£500,000.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But the judge, like, I had to like give my evidence. So I put in like Mabel's PCR test, all of that, and the judge said, you can clearly see on the cameras that all I did was just overtake a car. That can't be classed as using the bus lane irresponsibly or illegally. But if you think how many people have had to pay those fines, it's terrible, isn't it?
That's a lot.
It's really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Because I think not everybody would have the confidence like you have, Jasmine, to actually pursue that further.
Yeah.
And some people would be afraid of getting in trouble and would pay
Yeah.
the £60 fine straight away.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, and now I read something else this morning where a councillor, a Northampton councillor, is calling for all of those penalties to be refunded. I mean, whether that will actually happen or not, I don't know. But actually, yeah, I agree. It's not fair. Some people, that's a lot of money. I know it's £60, but then if you pay it within 2 weeks, it's 30. That's still a lot of money for people.
Well, a significant amount of money for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they got over 10 months. Imagine if they left that going for 2 whole years.
£500,000.
Crazy.
What are they actually using that £500,000 for? I'd love to know.
Yeah, where's it going?
Yeah.
Definitely not on Northampton.
No, not on like keeping our streets cleaner or making our parks nicer or anything like that, are they?
No.
So yeah, I guess like it's the first time I've ever done anything like that and appealed it and thought, no, I'm not going to pay it. And I'm so glad I did. But like you say, I do think a lot of people would just think, oh, I'll just pay it because it's gonna, I won't win and I'll end up owing more money. And but it shouldn't be. We should all be able to. I think they should refund everyone on it. I don't think they will, but I do think they should. But anyway, yeah. If you're watching and you paid it, I would write to them and send an email and say, I want a refund of my money. It'd be interesting to see what they come back with, wouldn't it? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Does it? Let's just know. Okay, let's move on from the bus lane then. So, Rachel, I saw you popped something in our group earlier this morning, and it's that guy who we spoke about a few weeks ago, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can share the share screen. There you go. So basically, it was a young gentleman named Will Perry, and he lives in Northampton, and he was talking about how, he was a Paralympian for swimming. I think, it was a while ago, but he was in the Paralympics and got so much praise, recognition, and thanks for representing England, Britain. And then after a few months, it kind of turned into the typical bullying abuse for being a dwarf. And he made an appeal. It got the attention of Boris Johnson and others, and he is now campaigning about what it's like to be bullied as a dwarf to the younger generation by going around schools and talking about it and raising awareness that it's about dwarfism and educating them as well in the process. So I thought that was really cool.
Definitely. Well, we spoke about this. You showed us this article a few weeks ago, and then about a week later, he was actually, because it was just local news at that point, wasn't it? And then a week or so later, he was on one of the big breakfast shows in the morning. I was like, oh, brilliant! Now, this story's been captured by a bigger sort of audience because it is so important. And just randomly, just before I came online this morning onto this, I had This Morning on in the background, and there was 2 dwarfs on there, and people are saying now, so the Disney Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, they don't think the 7 Dwarfs should be in it anymore. And so these 2 dwarfs saying, well, hold on a sec, we are people. It's just, what is the world coming to if we can't have Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs? Surely it's teaching our children.
It's offensive, because if you've got dwarfs saying, wait a minute, what's wrong with that? Should it be them that says yeah or no? And it says it's not a problem.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys, he was from America. I think he is famous. I don't know what he's been in, but he's a dwarf. He's done quite a lot of things, and he was saying, surely if you look at the story of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, you've got Grumpy, you've got Happy, you've got Smee, whatever he said, they're all different characters. He said, and we're teaching our children that it's okay to be different.
Yeah.
So it's absolute madness to me. But going back to sort of your story, it's brilliant that something's actually happening about that and taking it into schools and making it more, people, children, young people more aware, because it's not okay, is it?
It's nice to see where someone takes someone who is inspirational, who's gone through harassment and abuse, and it's now turning it into another inspirational thing of I'm not going to let that stop me from being who I am. So I really commend Will for doing that, for taking it and then turning it into something educational, important, more of he's basically a human rights activist for autism at this point.
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And also it's a really sad state of affairs when he was an Olympian and we were all singing his praises. How can that change so quickly from representing his country and doing such a great job to then people taking the mick out of his stature? How you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not okay. But then sort of going slightly off topic, but something us guys was speaking about earlier, and it's like friendships and things like that. And are we quite often as people happy to criticize and to be negative? How often do we big each other up and praise each other, which is what we should do? You quite often hear, women need to stick up for women, or, we've got to have each other's backs. But does it actually happen? I mean, you guys, you on a personal level, do you very often big up your friends, or, or do you find that something you find hard to do? Or
I think it's something that it doesn't happen naturally for me. It's not that I can't do it. It's just I won't turn around to my friend and be like, you know what, you're doing a really good job. For me, it's like something's happened. Like if someone's graduated uni, I'm like, oh, well done, such a great achievement. Or they've bought a house, I'm like, oh, that's really good, like well done, like amazing. Like it has to be specific events for me to then be like, oh yeah, you're doing really well. Like I'm not, it's bad because I should be turning around to my friends on a daily basis and being like, actually, you're doing really well, like keep going. Picking up on those small things that they probably don't recognize themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think if you know yourself, when someone takes that time, and it's literally minutes, not maybe not even a minute, and says, well done, you've done this great, or says, I even think like a lot of people find it hard to take compliments. I'm one of them people. It makes me feel cringy, it makes me feel embarrassed, but it also makes you feel really good. Whether in that minute straight away you're like, or feel a bit uncomfortable, but later on when you sit back and think about it, it's actually really nice, isn't it? And I try to be that person. So for me, it's not so much of I will say to people, oh God, you did that really well, or you were great today, or but it's even things like just complimenting each other. Oh, like Zach, I love your hair that color, you look amazing. And Sophia, I love that jumper you've got on, you look really good. And I do feel it's really important that we treat our friends and our work colleagues and just anyone really like that, because you don't realize sometimes what a difference it can make to people's day and to people's mental health. And Sophia, what do you think? Are you a giver of compliments, or do you take compliments well?
I like to think I'm a giver of compliments. I try and give people compliments, but I think it's like kind of from what you were saying, I think it's important for the person who you're giving the compliment to obviously receive that, but also to big it up amongst your friends or amongst your colleagues. So like, I'm going to big you up now, Jasmine, because obviously I've not been around for I know she's going to get all embarrassed, but something that you've been awesome at is obviously doing the breakfast buddies. I know Zach is going to back me up on this one, because you've been helping Zach and Rebecca and Mars doing their CVs, helping them with getting some benefits and things that they find challenging, and you've really supported them. And also, obviously, I've not been around at the yard for the last couple of weeks, but we've still kept in touch, and we've kind of tag teamed a bit in terms of supporting some of the young people who are coming in the morning. So, a for you, Jasmine.
See, now I get all like, oh, thank you.
You're all embarrassed.
But it is lovely to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I think as well,
definitely.
whilst we're bigging each other up, I'm going to big up Rachel, because Rachel has taken on a massive role on a Saturday morning doing the Dungeon Master stuff. Because when we first started talking about Dungeons and Dragons, I was a bit like, but Rachel's taken on that really well. She's done an amazing job at it. And I think all of the young people that are coming on Saturdays are really enjoying having you there doing it. So
thank you.
Keep up the good work.
It is really fun having you as a great DM. You are doing great.
I don't think I am. I'm kind of like winging it.
That's what I'm telling you.
All I've heard is good stuff, Rachel. So I think if you are doing it, you're doing it blimmin' well. So have that pat on the back.
Thank you.
No, but it is nice to talk about what we're doing well, because, you know, sometimes you focus on the negatives and think, oh God, I did that really bad. I do anyway. I know that that's the sort of my personality, or that was rubbish, or I could have done better at that. Or, you know, sometimes you do need to reflect on, we are all doing good things at different times, aren't we?
Yeah.
I have to say, I have to say, I do think that I wanted to pay a compliment to Beth, because I did not realise her age, and I'm not going to do it again.
Now, hang on a sec. Is this
you come across as someone that's very well put together, mature, sensible, and I had no idea that I was older than you. And it was a thing of like, what the monkeys is this? But at the same time, it's like, you're really good at your job. You're doing really well. And I wouldn't have thought like age shouldn't ever be a factor with doing your job really well. So
thank you.
Oh, look, this is turning into a right old gush this morning, isn't it? No, you're brilliant. No, you're brilliant.
You get a compliment. You get a compliment.
I was just going to say, Zach's been awesome. So for those of you watching, Zach is now officially a volunteer at the yard. So he's been one of our young people. He's been coming for absolute yonks. He's part of the furniture now, but he's actually taking on that little bit more of responsibility. So Zach, this is your cue to tell everyone what's starting. What are you starting to run at the yard?
The crochet club is now a thing.
Yes.
Yay. I am teaching you crochet. Half 1 till 3ish.
Yeah.
It will cost £5, but you get all of the equipment you need, cup of tea, all your hooks, all your doodads and your wool, all set up.
What day is it, Zach?
And you get me. Monday. You get me as well. The best bit.
And we might throw in a biscuit or two, mightn't we?
Maybe a biscuit.
Maybe.
So that sounds awesome. So there's so many benefits to crocheting, and I think the thing is with crochet, a lot of people think, oh God, that's a real old person thing. You know, it used to be, didn't it? You know, like back in the day, it was like, oh, crocheting, well, that's something my nan does. But actually, it's becoming quite a trendy thing to do, isn't it? And the benefits from it are, you know, I mean, Sophia will be able to tell us about this, but mental health wise, it's great for you, isn't it?
100%. I think something I know Zach has found really useful with it is it's something that's repetitive. So once you kind of get the hang of it, the action is quite repetitive and it's quite a calming sort of action. It's not something that's really intense, and you can do it kind of, if you're doing it at home, you can do it while watching the telly or listening to music or something like that. So you can do it with other things as well. And it's kind of, also it grows quite quickly. So it's that sense of achievement with it. Yeah. I know Zach, you've made like blankets, I've made a blanket, and it's just that nice kind of tangible thing as well. And also you get to do it in really funky colours, and you can kind of style it out how you like as well.
Customize it to how you want it to be, can't you?
I have to say as well, Zach is an excellent teacher. I did not know how to crochet, and then Zach taught me, and I was like, oh, actually, this isn't that bad.
I think you've taught quite a few people down at the yard, haven't you?
I have.
You're definitely the master of crochet, all things crochet. But what was that other thing that you're going to look at doing? Was it called Yarn Bomb?
Yarn
bombing, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right,
we're going to work on making some little doodads, like little snowmen in like Christmas time, or just some really cute little things, and just plop them around town. Make people, oh, that's cute.
I saw this.
So
Brighten their days.
When does Crochet Club start?
Monday. I think it's next Monday at 1:00.
Okay. So I was just thinking, have you got time to make some little hearts and put them about for Valentine's Day?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, we could do that.
That would be lovely.
And just make some like little red. You could crochet some little red hearts and just go and leave them in little places around the town centre.
Like a rose.
Yeah, we can hang up in trees.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. In one of the villages near me, it's where where Mabel's at school. There's a post box. They've got like a post office, a little shop and whatnot, and there's a post box, and there's a random crochet. It's like it fits on the top of the post box, and it has but no one knows who it is. They're what's the word? They're
Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Anonymous, yeah.
They're anonymous, right?
There's a couple of people doing that around the country.
Yeah, so at the minute there's like a pink flamingo on it, and then over Christmas there was like a snowman, and like they've got like a little village Facebook group, and everyone's like, oh, who is the anonymous crocheter? It's amazing. The kids all love it, seeing it when it changes. So that's really lovely. I mean, it must take a lot of time because these things aren't small. It's like a big blooming flamingo. But maybe maybe when you get a load of people in your crochet club, that we could do some of that as well. Make a big thing for a post box, or even like some of the bins in Northampton are a bit minging. We could even maybe make them look a bit prettier. It's a thought. There's so many different things you could do. But yeah, I think that's going to be awesome. And I think you're going to have loads of people joining in with that. So if you fancy it and you're watching and you want any more info, or you just want to have a chat with someone about potentially coming down, you're a bit nervous, you can contact us on the yard at communitycourtyard.org or on any of our social media, and we'll be happy to talk you through anything. But it is a really safe space, and really lovely people, and you've seen Zach's face now, and he's going to be there. He's the best. You can't get a better crocheter, in my opinion. So it's going to be amazing. He is the master. Okay. Sophia, what was one of those articles that you popped into the group chat this morning? We're going back to, I think this is more sort of, not Northampton, but it's a bit more.
Yeah, I'm just popping up Discord just to get it up for us. Hang on. I've popped in a few different ones. I kind of went for a sort of more national side of things. One of the things I saw was around Twitter and like social media, and actually that one kind of really stood out to me in terms of knowing the impact of social media. So I'm just grabbing the article now. Hang on one moment.
Okay. Yeah, I only skimmed it because it was not long before we were coming online, but I
can get it. Hang on, how do I share it? I haven't done a shared screen on here before.
No, can't help you, I'm afraid. I'm like dinosaur. I don't know either.
Bear with me.
Can we get it?
I'm going to do this.
Got it. Oh, are we going to see it? I'm guessing it's something along the lines of, I have heard before that like you've got to be really careful these days what you post on social media, because it can have more impacts than perhaps what we realise. Even things like when you apply for jobs, apparently some organisations will check your social media platforms to see perhaps views and opinions you've had on things, perhaps things that you've shared, things that you've commented on. It's a much bigger thing now than just actually putting a post on and there being no sort of repercussions, so to speak, from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the article kind of goes into a bit more sort of the serious side of things. I don't know if you've come across Dr. Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embarrassing Bodies, Jasmine?
Is he on the beat?
Who?
Embarrassing Bodies? Who's the doctor on Embarrassing
blonde
Bodies?
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it talks about in the article that actually he got into quite a lot of trouble. He actually had to pay $125,000 in damages to a DUP leader called Arlene Foster because he sort of accused her of having an affair, and whether it was true or not, and she actually sort of took him to court, and he had to pay that money.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's quite a big thing. It's obviously, again, something that he posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's the repercussions of it. Obviously, that's in a very sort of the extreme case.
Yeah.
But it's knowing kind of sometimes the outcome and the impact of our words as well, and how that kind of affects things on sort of a bigger scale, but also maybe on more of a smaller scale with our friendship groups and things like that, and actually how we share things online can have a real impact on how other people feel and how we feel about ourselves as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I think as well, didn't this article come after the footballer Mason Greenwood was accused of sexually assaulting and domestic violence against his
pictures went up on social media straight away.
Yeah. But she can get in a lot of trouble for doing that.
Yeah, but also it's all being investigated at the moment as well, isn't it? So again, the implications of what you're posting online can be huge.
Yeah, 100%. But then just obviously that Mason Greenwood thing's a real hot topic at the moment. And have any of you actually heard the recording?
I haven't, no.
Well, I heard it the other night and it is awful. It is not a comfortable listen at all. And I know it's all been taken down everywhere, but I don't know. Henry, somehow someone had sent it to him, and anyway, so he got me to listen, and it's a very uncomfortable listen. But it's an important topic actually, because you know, just as well in addition, and it's sort of on a similar sort of theme. I watched something on some parents on Good Morning Britain yesterday, and their daughter was in quite a coercive relationship, and you saw some video footage of him kidnapping her. He literally grabs her, puts her in his van, drives off, and whilst he's driving down, I don't know if it's like I don't know if he was on I don't know what road he was on.
It's near Loughborough.
Was it?
Loughborough,
60 miles an hour. She fell out the back of the van, and she now has life-changing injuries. I mean, she can't walk, she can't eat, she can't speak, and it's just horrendous. But I think another thing that with our young people, and you know, to make them aware of what is a healthy relationship and what isn't. And I feel like it's similar with Mason Greenwood, because he's young. I think the girl's young. I don't know the exact ins and outs of it all, but what makes a healthy relationship? What is coercive behaviour? You know, we need to make our young people more aware of what is okay and what isn't, because I think there's a lot of blurred lines.
Yeah, at the Yard at the moment, we're actually going to apply for some funding from Your Best Friend. So they're a group of, I think it was 11 organisations that are running a 2-year project to help women, girls and non-binary people to raise awareness for toxic relationships, how to recognise them, how to get out of them, what they can do, how to keep themselves and their friends safe. So hopefully if we get this funding, we'll be able to run some different projects and workshops surrounding relationships and friendships, and also social media. So that'll be really good. Yeah,
because this is a really important subject, because I do feel like a lot of young people aren't quite aware of what, you know, coercive relationships are, and whether things are right or wrong in the sense of behaviours and things like that.
They get so blindsided by what they consider to be love and loving relationships that
get caught up in infatuation and, you know, things like that. And unfortunately, in some circumstances, you know, just those two incidents we've just spoken about can lead to such horrendous outcomes, can't they? So I think that will be actually a really good piece of work for us to do down at the yard. And, you know, raise awareness of those sort of issues and just give young people that sort of information for them to be able to make perhaps better decisions. It's really important. So we'll keep.
It impacts so much on you, doesn't it? It just impacts. It can impact so much on how you feel physically, how you feel mentally, and it's also. I think just going back to the social media thing, obviously a lot of our young people use like Snapchat and things, and it's kind of how they talk to each other as well. And actually, obviously, we always advocate at the yard of talking to each other with kindness, and it's sometimes just sharing that with people. And what we were saying before about bigging each other up, actually, that's kind of that form of kindness as well. That it's really important to share that with people, and it's really important that we share that with our young people as well, because we're always trying to big each other up rather than bring each other down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, it's really important. And well, fingers crossed we get some funding to go ahead with that, but we'll keep people updated, won't we, if and when we can start to get some of those sort of sessions running, because I know I think there'll be quite a lot of people who would like to sort of get involved in that for sure. Okay then, so just before we finish up today then, Beth, what is going on at the yard this week? What people can come and join in with?
So we've got our regular programming this week. So Wednesdays, we've got our Just Living, where Tashan is going to be cooking up some delight with young people. I'm not sure what he's doing this week. Delight. The last 2 weeks we've had eggs, so I'm not sure if we'll have eggs again tomorrow.
It's probably going to be eggs again.
Probably going to be poached eggs, boiled eggs. Egg on toast.
We're sick of eggs. We don't want any more.
So so that's our Just Living program on a Wednesday. Then after that we have our Legends to Leaders, which is social activism. So we're going to be doing some guerrilla gardening. However, this month is LGBTQIA+ month, isn't it, Sophia?
It is indeed. And tomorrow, chalking is going to be happening. We're going to be spreading some LGBTQ+ I love around Northampton, and you watch out for our chalking messages. So I reckon Zach is up for the challenge on this one. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those designs around Northampton.
Yeah, we'll put some pictures on our social media if you're not out and about in town, so you don't get to see it. We'll upload some photos to see what they've all been up to.
Yep. So we're chalking on Wednesday for LGBTQIA+ month. And then Thursday, we have our Game Against Gangs, which is a referral program where you can refer yourself, or you can be referred by school or other professionals that you know, so like social workers, other members of staff that you have around you. And that's basically focusing on gaming and how we can change negative behaviours and turn them into positive ones through like teamwork and different skills that you can learn. And then on a Friday, we have our open youth sessions, which is just kind of our chill time, nice relaxing or not relaxing, depending on the music and the games that we've got going on. But it's all good fun. And then also, while I'm talking about Friday, on the 18th of Feb, we actually have a youth group from Islington coming to visit us in Northampton. So that will be really good. We're going to show them around town on the day, and then we're just going to have a few fun activities to get to know them and give them a chance to see what we do in Northampton. And then hopefully, hopefully at some point in the future, we'll be able to go and visit them. So that will be really good.
That'll be really good.
And then finally, Saturday, we have our gaming day with Rachel, where we do Dungeons & Dragons and any other games that you can probably think of. So I know we've got Cluedo, we've got cards, we've got Uno, pool table, so just all the gaming on Saturday.
Awesome. Yeah. And then also we have,
I believe.
Yeah,
1:30.
Yeah.
1:30.
Yeah, 1:30 on Saturday.
1:30 Saturday. And then also we have our breakfast buddies every morning, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is 10:30 till 12:30. So if you want to come down and have a cuppa and a natter, please do. 62 Gold Street. We would love to see your faces. The kettle is always on. There's always biscuits. So yeah, come down and join us if you're out and about in town and want to come and have a cuppa. We'd love to see you.
Yeah.
Right then, guys, this is done. Tuesday, we are over and out. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It was great having a chat with you all. Have a great rest of the day. Hope that sunshine comes out for those of us who were feeling a little bit cloudy. But yeah, have a good one, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.